Wine in a box. Can it be any good? Well, for the sake of science, for you the viewer, and for the sake of my pocketbook, I'm going to find out. What we have here is a fairly unassuming cardboard cube. It may not look like much, but inside of here are 3 liters of wine. 3 liters equals, as this nice little graphic shows us here, 4 bottles. It's quite a lot of wine. It doesn't look like 4 bottles. You know, it's pretty compact. And why wineries have gone this way, and why you're probably seeing more boxed wine on the market today in your local wine shop, in your local grocery store, or wherever else, is because this is super clever. It's square, first of all, or rectangular, and what that means is they can ship more wine in less space. There's no air wasted. With a bottle, for instance, you have the neck area around the top, and that you're shipping basically 30% air in a box filled with wine. And that's a bit of a waste. Also, the other problem is that glass is heavier than the stuff inside it. This whole bottle weighs more than the wine in it. And that's a bit of a waste as well. I mean, very clever packaging 200 years ago. But today, it's probably a bit outdated. I like the ritual, I love wine coming out of a bottle, I love pulling the cork and all that. But honestly, when I just want to drink, and I don't want to think about it, this is a bit of a waste. And if you're trying to be concerned about the environment, or you're trying to, like, maybe, you know, do something better for yourself financially, you're paying for this to be shipped, you're paying for the CO2 to be pumped into the air, to get this around the world. So instead, a lot of wineries are going this way. It's cheaper for them as well, and so therefore those cost savings are brought on to you. This wine itself is Cuvee de Pena, a southern French producer down in the Pyrenees foothills in southwestern France. And it's a fairly typical blend, as you can see here, of Grenache, Carignan, Syrah, and Mourvèdre. Those all typical grapes of Provence, southern Mediterranean, France, Côte d'Aron, those sort of things. Now that formal introductions are over, let's meet the wine. Best way I know how, by opening it. Luckily, most boxed wines have instructions on the side that you need to know where to do stuff. So this has very cool diagrams that are helpful. What we need to do first is push here, or as the French politely ask us, pousser ici, in the formal vous form. But in any case, we push, out comes the tab, haha, and then the next step is to pull out the side wall, bring out our spout. And, you know, if you're curious, take a look at what's inside. We have basically here a bag, fairly metallic looking. I've opened up other wine boxes that were more of a clear plastic bladder, but this one's fairly shiny, very thin as well in terms of metal, but probably does a good job of resisting heat, which is important when shipping wine. What you need to do then is line up these grooves to the hole here in the side of the box. You just kind of give it a good firm shove into there, line up the other half, hold it in place, so then you have a proper pouring position so the bladder's not hanging out. There. And then what you need to do is remove the plastic lock that has kept the wine from being pushed out and kept it safe in its box. So you just pull the tab, get rid of it, and your wine is almost ready to go. The last step is you need to find a high enough spot with enough clearance so that you and your guests can pour your wine at ease. I've taken the kitchen counter here and placed it just above, like so. Next step, we're going to find out if this is any decent. Once you have the spout of your wine box locked and loaded, it's time to drink. Take a normal glass, as per usual, and bring it over to the spout. And what you want to do is push up on these 2 tabs and pull down on this button here. And what that's going to do is release the wine. So I position the glass right underneath and pull up. and pour. And there you go.